Do I look like a football player? I feel like I look like I'm in my football kit or something. Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I am in a very, how should we say, a bit of a low mood, and I'm trying to prep myself up, and I've got my coffee, just like what I deal with every day. And you guys know I've been super honest and open about my struggles with depression over the last 2 years, but sometimes you just have to tell it to bugger off and just push yourself, carry on with what you were intending to do. And my intention has been to sit down and chat with you guys, and as much as I feel like I don't want to do it, I know that as soon as I talk to you, I'm going to feel absolutely fine. So I think that's one of the main things about depression. You really just have to keep pushing through it. You know that it's not you. It's like some sneaky, horrible little gargoyle on your shoulder that's telling you like, just feel like shit, or just don't do anything today. And you're like, no, there's things that I have to do today, and I'm gonna choose happiness. I'm gonna choose to feel good today. Hopefully this will give me a little pep. Anyway, so nice to sit down with you guys again. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we caught up. I thought we could do a little catch-up Q&A today. I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions, so yeah, let's just have a little catch-up on this Sunday. Okay, so the first question is, what's the hardest bit and best bit about moving to the UK? I think the best bit, and this might sound a bit strange, I think the best bit is not feeling like an outsider and not feeling like just the foreigner. I think I felt like that for so long, obviously, because I was the foreigner. I think it just started to get to me, and I was like, people just see me as the foreigner and that's it. It was just very prevalent in what I did. So I think coming home has made me feel more involved, and it's nice to be here, like visa free, not having to worry about all the admin and all the stuff that goes along with having to reside in another country. And so coming home and just being able to be here and being able to stay here is really, really nice. I don't know if any of you guys know, but if you followed me since the start of my YouTube channel, my career in the UK was a makeup artist. I was a freelance makeup artist. I did makeup for music videos and TV and celebrities. Oh my god, I just spilled coffee on me. No! And I would do that all around London, and I absolutely loved it because every day was different and every project was different, and I was constantly meeting new people. And then I realized that now that I'm back here, my career is content creation, and it is a very solo, individualistic career choice because it's just me. I just do it on my own. There's no office that I go to. I don't have a team. It's just me. And I realized that I loved being a makeup artist because I was constantly meeting new people and doing new things, and every day was different. I don't know, I was just thinking, oh my god, do I want to dabble back into that industry? I'm just kind of reflecting on what it is that I want to do. Obviously content creation is always at the forefront of what I do. It's just what I love, and that's how I make a living. But in terms of doing something else which allows me to interact with people, anyway, I don't know how I even got on the subject of that. That's the hardest bit, I think. Not having much day-to-day involvement with other people is probably the hardest part. How is the weather now in November? It's actually been really warm for November, surprisingly. It's been about 15 degrees, but I think next week it is meant to drop to like 4 degrees. It's definitely going to start getting a lot colder in the lead up to Christmas. I cannot believe Christmas is like a month away. It's absolutely insane, and I really want to start making very festive content for you guys, so please leave a comment. Let me know what festive UK content you want to see. Do you want to see like festive countryside walks? Do you want me to take you into London? Are there any like department stores that you want to go to? I was thinking about going to Liberties in London and filming that. Christmas lights, like let me know what you guys want to see. Any mental health shifts you've noticed being back in a country with 4 seasons? Seasons are really exciting. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm finding the whole season thing very exciting. It breaks up the year really, really nicely. In a tropical climate, like time is just linear, whereas here breaking it up into 4 seasons gives you a bit more of like excitement. But then I saw a funny TikTok the other day that said the next 6 p.m. sunset will be on like the 16th of March. So I was like, oh yeah, like we have 3 more months of this before the evenings start to get lighter again. So ask me in like 2 months time. What is something we don't know about you? I think maybe people don't realize how competitive I am. Not necessarily always in work, but just like in sports and things like that, which is funny to say because I literally don't do any sports anymore. But I used to be massively into sports, running, athletics, gymnastics, and I was so competitive. I just had to win. I wouldn't say that I'm competitive necessarily with other people, but I'm competitive with myself the most. Yeah, I feel like I'm constantly in competition with myself. I don't know if that's like a toxic mindset or if that's a good thing. Maybe it's just I think it's just a Capricorn thing, to be honest. Do you feel like the UK is doing worse than Singapore? It's an interesting question. I'm not sure what you mean by that exactly. What I will say that I've noticed here in the UK massively is the class divide. There's a lot of classism in the UK, which I never experienced in Singapore, because I'm not sure that there is much classism in Singapore. And I know that when I lived in Singapore, everyone had the impression that everyone in the UK was rich, which was a really interesting perception. They were like, oh yeah, you're all rich, right? And I was like, no. There's a lot of poor people that live in the UK, and a lot of people are struggling. Another observation I've made about the UK, I don't think people would like to see people be successful, and they want to kind of pull people down that are seemingly successful. I don't know why we're like that. If anyone wants to chat about it in the comments, let me know. But yeah, there's definitely this feeling of you're in this box and you stay in that box. So when people do try to break free, they're always criticised or kind of dragged down. Do you have management? No, I do not. I'm actually thinking about getting some kind of management, because it can be a lot to do everything on your own when you're a creator. I don't think a lot of people see the other side to it, which is like all the admin, all the negotiating, the emailing the brands, the pitching, everything else that goes into content creation. And so it is nice to have a manager sometimes, just to take the weight off of you, and then you can focus on creating. Possibly not right now, but in the near future, yeah, I would love to have some management. What's your workout routine at the moment? Pretty non-existent, to be honest, but I am walking almost every day. I go for a morning walk for an hour, resistance training every now and then, some weights. So I just do like kettlebells and things like that. Mainly I just have a higher protein diet now. But yeah, the walking is crazy. I think people underestimate how effective walking can be. And I would also love to get back into yoga massively. I think I found a place locally that does hot yoga. Dying to get back into that. I also thought that hot yoga for the winter would be so lovely, because it'd be nice and warming. Yeah, hopefully I'm gonna start that next week. What is the best thing about living at home? I think just the comfort, like home comforts, home cooked food. My parents are amazing at the dinners they make. I was away from home for such a long time that I just find it comforting, and I just don't feel like you can necessarily find that feeling anywhere else. Being at home with your parents is just different, so I'm just enjoying it while I can. Will you be moving to London? And this is a question I've been asking myself for the last few months. I'm considering it. I was like, should I just do it for the plot? Because I've never actually lived in London. You should live somewhere where you really want to live, and right now I'm not getting like that real, oh my god, I want to move to London, because I always pop into London whenever I need to. But I do know that living in a city is very different than just keep popping in and out. If I wanted to live on my own in London, I wouldn't be able to afford my own place, because it's just way out of my budget. I would have to share with housemates again, and I'm just not sure that I want to do that anymore. But if I want to live outside of London, I could probably afford my own place. So it just depends if I want to live on my own or if I want to live with other people again. I'm currently still thinking about it. I'm not really in any rush to make that decision yet. How is your dating life? Non-existent. I also just think the reality of dating in 2024 is disastrous, and anyone that's single will understand what I'm talking about. It's funny because you hear people talking about dating in every single city. They're like, oh my god, dating in New York is the worst, dating in London is a disaster, dating in Singapore is terrible. And I'm like, yeah, it seems like globally we're having a real dating epidemic. It's not looking good. I think that's probably down to the apps. I think apps have just made everyone so disposable, and no one seems to be able to form real quality relationships anymore, or don't necessarily know what it takes to form real quality relationships. Okay guys, I'm gonna wrap up the video here, but thank you so much for sending in your questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like it if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Yeah, like I said, please leave your video suggestions below for the festive period, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.